After reaching Karumba, and after all the dirt roads, we were keen to put the boat in the water for a little bit of croc spotting. Ted and I decided we'd go out and do this. The girls weren't that keen on getting up close and personal with crocodiles. We were amazed at the size of the boats and the size of the fleet of the fishing boats that work in the Gulf. The Sunset Tavern is well known from the tourists and the locals as one of the best places to watch a sunset. After checking out all the sights around Karumba, we were headed towards Normanton and then on to Burketown. Our first stop in Normanton was with Chris, the Savanah King. It was a crocodile that was shot in 1957. This life-size replica is unbelievable in size. Over 8.6 metres long and with an estimated weight of around 2 tonnes. The Purple Pub in Normanton is a well-known landmark. We were ready to stock up on supplies before we start the next stretch of our journey. We were told about a great camp spot by this river. We were also told that it was way too rough to take a caravan in, only camper trailers. We thought we'd have a go. After a couple of days camped at this magic spot, it was time to move on, back to hit the Savanah Way. Our next stop was to be Leichhardt Falls. Along the way we'd come across some roadworks. I couldn't believe the size of these trucks, 4 trailers at a time. This late into the dry season there was no water running over the falls.
Imagine how pretty this area would be when the water was flowing.
One day while we were here we heard quite a commotion from other campers. It took us a little while to work out what was going on. It was their first crocodile sighting they'd ever had. It was just a nice little freshwater croc. At the entrance to Burketown is the Burketown Bore. This comes from deep beneath the ground. The water bubbles up and leaves a mineral deposit on the surface as the water escapes. Very hot water. Well, this was our last place where we could stock up on supplies for probably quite a while now, but we just couldn't bring ourselves to try their sausages. Time to fill all the water tanks before we head down to the boat ramp, where we'll camp for a few days. We were keen to try and catch a feed of mud crabs. We weren't sure how we'd go with the amount of crocodiles in the area. After setting our crab pots, we decided to troll a few lures around to see if we could catch ourselves a fish for dinner.
He's watching us.
As usual, Chris is very wary about the crocodiles. Well, we only managed to catch one mud crab, and he didn't seem that pleased that he was coming back with us for dinner. back on the Savanah Way. You really do learn to appreciate bitumen roads when you have them.
How beautiful is that?
With the UHF radio, we let Ted and Narelle know we were planning on pulling up at the Hells Gate Roadhouse for lunch. It was only about 50 kilometres to the Northern Territory border. From here, the road deteriorated once again. It wasn't uncommon to see car parts or trailer parts like the mudguard there, all the way strewn along this road. Whenever we come across anybody broken down in the bush, we always pull up and try and help. Sometimes it's only moral support, but it can mean the real difference to people. The Savanah Way can be a very rugged road. With your tyre pressures correctly adjusted and travel to the conditions, you can do it without too much drama. Town of Borroloola was our next stop. We pulled up here for fuel and supplies, as we weren't real sure what to expect when we got to King Ash Bay.